Hey everyone, welcome back to the 582 Motorsports YouTube channel. It has been a long time since I have updated you guys on what's happening with the WBU drag car. A lot of work's been happening, kind of hard to film and do work at the same time. So I will run you guys through what has been happening. Okay, so we'll start at the front here. Engine has been out, has been taken up to the dyno. Shane's Race Engines, who's just around the corner from me, he dynoed the engine, retuned it. The car was set up to run VP QM25 fuel when it was a nitrous setup. I'm not going to run the nitrous at the moment, so I've had it retuned for Power Plus 108. We made 856 on the dyno at 6400 RPM and 770 foot-pound of torque, and I think it was about 5.1 or 5.2. So she's a very healthy motor. She won't be a rever, which is why I have gone the big block way. While the engine was out, the front end from the firewall forward of the chassis was all robbed back and repainted because we had, weld and the bars welded in, and paint was pretty average. So we've also made all new brake lines, all new brake master cylinder, so they've all been ran. All the struts have been reconditioned, new bearings in them. The rack's been done, new boots, a bit of paint. The headers have been coated locally. A guy near me done it, so he's done me a great job on those. The wiring is all kind of being ran. I had it all wired up and ran, but the firewall wasn't in, so I've had to redo some of the wiring to run through. You see, run through these holes, so I have to get some rubber grommets to go through there for the wires to run through. Transmission's all in, converter's all in, that's all ready to go. As you can see, I'm in the middle of doing some wiring here. Transmission lines are being ran, new batteries in. I've got the seat sorted, I've got all the dash sorted. And mate, you can see here, trans temp, water temp, oil pressure, fuel pressure, volts, brake. Actually, the volt meter will be coming out and a vacuum gauge will be going in to keep track of how much vacuum we're pulling from the vacuum pump for the engine. That was all reset up on the dyno. We got a little regulator down here, so we keep pulling the same amount of pressure. Vacuum. So our alternator's all done. This was just done recently. The last little bit of welding, unfortunately I had to take some paint off. So that's the alternator adjuster that I made. I've got to make this block here. So once I get my mill up and running, I'll mill up a better block. That's kind of a proof of concept block for me that it was going to work. Down the back here, the bars that we welded in, I just painted black. Painting all the roll bars in there was going to be a difficult job, taping it up and painting it, so I just decided to paint them black, but they come out quite well. We painted some more painting down here for the transmission oil cooler, so that's all in now and ran. Basically everything's ran up the back here. I just have to do some tidying up, cable tied up, put some P-clips in, hold it all in together. The diff is out of the car. We've got some new bars, 4-link bars have been made, which I've got sitting up here on the table. They've been made. The last mounts for the wheel bars were put in, so I've got to put a little bit of paint on them. Diff center has been ordered today, so we going to be running a Strange center, 411 alloy Strange HD housing all the good stuff. 411 gears is what we're going to run. I've got 35 spline axles there. Got to put one more bearing on, and then we'll be hitting the track. I have down in my back shed, I've got new tyres front and back. So this is, once it's all rolling, I've got the struts out, the shocks out of the back. I have to pull the front struts back out. They have to be sent away and serviced. They've been sitting around for years. The guy who I bought it off had been sitting around for years. I think the guy before him even had it sitting around. So once the car's all back together, then it's going away to have a bigger radiator made for it. The little radiator I had is just way too small for it. So that'll be made once the car's all back together and rolling. Tail shaft will have to be made, and then it will go to the fiberglasser, because the engine sticks out about this. Basically the whole top of the rocker cover basically sits out of the front clip, so I'll have to get a reverse cowl made for it, all glassed on. And the scoop that was on it originally, I want to try and get back on it too. So I just got to work out how high it's going to sit and how much vision I'm going to have. If the scoop is on there, I may have to go to a clear type of carby scoop for it. Yeah, so that's where the car is up to at the moment. There's just a lot of fiddly stuff left, like gear cables got to go in, still that kind of stuff, wire up the neutral safety switch, just all little bits and fiddly pieces have got to be left, but it's getting there, hopefully on the track this year. So yeah, like and subscribe if you can, do me a favor. Also, don't forget to check me out on Instagram at 582 Motorsports. I do post up there pretty regularly because it's easy just to throw some photos up as I'm working. So thanks guys, and I'll see you again soon.